Hello and welcome to Corporate Showcase. My name is James Whelan, Managing Director of Barclay Pearce Capital's Wealth Management Team, and I am joined by the very happy Dr. Mike Jones, Managing Director of Impact Minerals IPT Stock Code. Mike, how are you now?
I'm very good, James. Very good indeed. It's a very sunny day here in Perth. Beautiful end of summer week.
Oh, outstanding. Now, it's you're only as good as your last rights issue, and I reckon you'll be chirping pretty well and truly behind you now with a beautiful uptake. Do you want to walk us through the completion of the rights issue that you've just done?
Yep, certainly. So, we announced today the results of our renounceable rights issue, which has been running since February the 28th, and we're extremely happy with the uptake. We had a 70% uptake of all the rights that were available, and most of that went to existing shareholders. In particular, a handful of our top 5, top 10, came in with more than their fair share of rights, which is fantastic. And our largest German shareholder came in, pro rata, so great outcome there. And we've also got a few new investors. The raise was managed by Mahe Capital. They did a great job. And then we also had the people that you recommended to help us get in touch with all the shareholders. And so all in all, it's a really good outcome, especially when you consider what was happening in the marketplace with all the tariff worries and everything. The first 3 weeks were a little bit ropey there, but it came good in the end.
A rough week. With the market coming off 10% while you managed to put a 70% rights issue away, it shows that the company is definitely headed in the right track, or definitely believed that by shareholders that it is heading in the right track, as I am also of that fan base as well. Now, Dr. Jones, let's go back a step and talk us through the HPA market and talk us through Impact. Specifically, I'd like to talk about Lake Hope and the future for that, because the rights issue, there's no point doing a rights issue unless you're going to put the money somewhere. So what's ahead?
That's right. So the principal use of the funds will be to continue with our Lake Hope high purity alumina project. It's located 500 kilometres east from here in Perth. And for those that don't know, high purity alumina or aluminium oxide is used in a wide variety of new technology devices, things like LEDs, light emitting diodes. All of those have got HPA in them. Increasingly now in the semiconductor market, we've seen our peer Alpha HPA indicate incredible demand in the semiconductor space. And obviously with AI growing at the speed it is, and needing thermal protection from all the heating in the data centers, HPA has a huge role to play in all of that space. So that's growing very rapidly, and also still in the lithium-ion battery market and a wide range of medical devices, etc. So great space to be. Look, there are high barriers to entry into the HPA business, because getting purity, no matter what mineral you're in, alumina, graphite, manganese, you name it, it's proved difficult for many people. And so we're getting over that barrier, and that PFS will look to demonstrate that. And then that'll kickstart our sort of roll basically into a DFS. But we're going to be building our pilot plant with Edith Cowan University. And for those that aren't aware of it, we have a government grant under their CRCP funding to work with Edith Cowan University and our engineering group, CPC Engineering. And we're going to build a pilot plant very rapidly to start producing material that we can hand out as offtake, and also demonstrate that our process works on a continuous basis. So that's where the majority of the funds are going, and we're looking forward to getting stuck into that.
I think you've got some other holdings around as well. It's not all Lake Hope, as much as I wish it was, but no, there's other amazing holdings that you've got too. Broken Hill as well. Did you want to walk us through what's ahead with there?
Yeah, certainly. Look, as we get more and more focused on Lake Hope, we will have to look to monetize some of our other assets as we go along. But for those of you who followed Impact, we've always been explorers kind of at heart, and we've always wanted to drill some big targets. And we've certainly got a few of those starting to line up. And so as judiciously as we can, we'll drill some of those. So we have our Arkham project here in Western Australia. It's a long trend from the very large Julimar discovery that Chalice made a few years ago. Now, whilst they're going through their own PFS, DFS work, and metallurgical studies, the heat has come out of Chalice, but really that whole province where we are has never been touched. And we've got an exciting nickel copper PG gold target that we're going to be drilling probably very, very soon with the funds that we've raised. Excuse me. And we've also got government co-funding for that as well. We've got a $180,000 grant from the West Australian government funding. So that's going to keep the cost of that down. And then secondly, we announced a big acquisition at Broken Hill. We've increased our land holding there very significantly. Mm-hmm. Impact was one of the first 7 companies to be chosen for the BHP Explore program, now widely recognised as really the Rolls-Royce of relationships between juniors and majors. It's in its 3rd year at the moment. And we got into that program on the back of some innovative ideas for copper at Broken Hill. The ground we've just obtained is all integral to that model. It's IP that we've been sitting on for some time as part of the Explore program. And look, it's a huge land holding. We will need help to fund that, and we're looking at various ways of doing that. But it's highly likely we'll do some ground geophysics first, and then look for some partners there. So it's all happening, James. But let's people remember that our focus is very much on Lake Hope.
That's right, and that's where I'd like it to be too, just quietly as a shareholder myself. But look, it's an amazing story that you've got, and a critical mineral as well. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Mike Jones, Managing Director of Impact Minerals, and congratulations on the rights issue.
Thanks very much, James.
I'm James Whelan, Managing Director of Barclay Pearce Capital's Wealth Management Team, and you have joined us for the Corporate Showcase.